What if we could take the whole idea and concept of perfectionism and just send it right back to hell where it belongs, where it came from? I believe we can do that, and I believe that it's a great idea. I think isms in general tend to be toxic anyway. I won't make a religious rule about that, okay? But perfectionism at its root, the way I see it, and please feel free to share with me your thoughts on it, is at its core, it says that you and I are not good enough. And also a lot of times that other people aren't either. Excuse me. So, for example, when people want to give us love gifts and we reject or refuse them, or we push them away because they're not, they're not good enough. Maybe they didn't do it, the gesture wasn't done quite in the way that we would have liked, or we would have done it. I'll never forget a long time ago, overhearing a woman in a class one time talk about how her husband the previous night had done dishes for her she said he was doing it to be nice, but she was expressing to someone else how irritated she was by that, because she went into the dishwasher and she was so annoyed by the way that the dishwasher was loaded. And she started, to get on his case about it. And I just remember hearing that. And I mean, there was a part of me that was judging that. And at the same time, what I was also doing in my mind was asking myself, where have I done that? Where am I doing that right now in my life? Because I want to see that, and I want to smash that. What if, I know that was a long pause. I really want you to sit with these ideas and really think about them. Please don't rush through this for the benefit of your own soul, for the benefit of your family, for the benefit of everyone who you have influence over. Really consider these things. And I'm bringing them up not from a place of condemnation, but from a place of love. Because what if you, my dear friend, could allow yourself to be loved? And what if that ultimately is where the harmful effects of perfectionism are rooted from within you in your life? And you might kind of sometimes casually, jokingly throw out, I'm a perfectionist, and things like that. But also at the same time, you're not really laughing about it. You really don't enjoy that your personality latches on to that characteristic. You'd like to kiss it goodbye, because you see the ways that it affects your kids and your relationships and even your efforts in business, even really just with your health. There's really, I would say there's no area that this does not touch. That's why I think it's such an important conversation. And as one of I have a parenting coach. She's a dear friend. Her name is Lena Lee. And I love the way she does this. She's often just encouraging curiosity. Get curious about this or that. So I wonder if we could just get curious about where perfectionism is, rooted from in you. Get curious about it. Because that way you're not coming from a place of condemnation. You and I would probably both agree that more condemnation is not what you are lacking. You're not in need of any additional condemnation, being heaped upon you. And sorry, the gnats are just, or mosquitoes are rampant out here right now. So if you see me flinging my hand around, that's why. We are, we are in this place of, I see perfectionism as being rooted in fear. We're afraid we're not getting it right. We're afraid of opening ourselves up and being hurt, being criticized, for sure. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, what would that mean? What would it mean if we opened ourselves up for criticism? Oh my, that can certainly be a scary thought, to be sure. But what if you could allow space for yourself to show up messy, if you will, maybe even put yourself in some embarrassing situations? I'm like taking a deep breath with you, just thinking about that, of an embarrassing situation I have coming up. But I think the point is, like, we can choose how we view things, and you can take an embarrassing, what would be an embarrassing situation, and flip it on its head and say, what if I didn't have to be embarrassed here? What if I could just allow myself to be loved instead? What if we don't need to be embarrassed? There isn't a person on this planet who does not need help of some kind in some way at some time. We're all there. Is there something wrong with that? I think if you had someone you really love asking you that question, you'd say no. But would it be the same if you were asking the question, if it were for you? Can you receive help? Can you allow yourself to be loved? Can you allow yourself to be messy? These are questions I'm asking myself. Showing up here, putting myself in a position to receive criticism, and I do it because I care, and I ultimately, from a 30,000 foot view, a plane right above me right now, so that's just perfect. I want to see the effects of perfectionism rooted in fear that I say, let's send them to hell. Them being all of the effects of it, and just the whole idea. But I want to see that, like, gone from the planet entirely. So I know it's a tall order. And so then it has to start with me. It has to start with me in my own life, in my own heart, in my home, and how I make decisions, how I operate my life. Because I've got to be real. That's what I want. I want a real life. I want to show up realness in all its messiness, authentically. It can certainly be scary thinking about that. What if somebody, because I think there's this the question is, if they knew the real me, would they love me still? Honestly, could anyone love me really if they knew the real me? Right? God certainly does. And he doesn't condemn us in anything, even in our fears. And he doesn't want us to live in fear. So he says that to us a lot. But he doesn't condemn us, for having fear. He knows how we're made. And he extends us an invitation into being with fear, being in the discomfort of it, but the key being we can be in fear and have fear. We don't have to have it, but we can have it. But here's the key: with him. We can have fear. With him, he'll be with us in it. He extends us an invitation to invite him in. Invite him in. You have fears? You're anxious about something? Invite him in. Oh, he wants to come in. He wants to be in with you in all of it. And in fact, he's with you now. I want to share a few verses with you, and then I'll wrap this up. Sun is setting here. Psalm 23. These are just a few examples. This is not an exhaustive list of all the verses in the Bible where God models for us an invitation. He's opening himself up and he's saying, invite me in. It's an invitation to invite him. Okay, so here, I'm going to start with Psalm 23. Fear no evil, for I am with you. I'm with you. So he doesn't want you to fear, but he's also reminding you, I'm with you. Genesis 15, and this is absolutely one of my favorite verses in the Bible, when God is telling Abraham, fear not, I am your shield and your exceedingly great reward. Oh, that verse just swoon. I love it. Okay, he's our shield. John 6:20, when his disciples were in the boat on the sea and there was a storm and they saw him coming on the water and they were like, what are we seeing here? And they were very understandably terrified of what their eyes were seeing, and he told them, it's I, don't be afraid. So again, he's not condemning them. I just love that about Jesus. Here's another one, and I know I'm gonna say it's one of my favorite verses. I just said that, but this one is, it's so beautiful. Many years ago, just real quick, I heard John Piper, the pastor John Piper, do he did an exposition of this verse, and it just, like ever since then, it was right after I got saved, I heard this when he exposited Isaiah 41:10, and that's the verse, by the way. You probably know it, but it's just beautiful. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So he invites you to not be afraid. Did you see that mosquito just land on my face? I'm not going to be afraid of the amount of mosquito bites I'm going to have on me when I go to my house. What I really want to impart to you before I go is, you don't have to be afraid that you are not enough for him. You are loved. You are so very, very loved by your Creator. And he is inviting you to knock and to ask him and to invite him in to all your circumstances. And you don't have to clean it up or polish it off for him, you know. He's a person, and he knows what it feels like to be a man. He is a man. So I want to encourage you, and I just want to invite you to, right now, spend some time being with him. Just be with him and know him. Oh, I am just being... The mosquitoes and gnats are loving me right now. Be with him. He adores you. He simply adores you, and he delights in you. What if you delighted in him and you let him? What if you allowed him to delight in you the way that you delight in him? Oh my, can you even imagine? What would that feel like to know that the God of the universe delights in you, and you really like allowed that in, allowed yourself to feel that, his delight on you? One of my favorite verses is in Psalm 16, when he says that there are pleasures, pleasures at his right hand forevermore. That has got to be one of them. Just the allowance and the receiving of his love on you and his delight in you. Oh my. And I have to just add in that I'll wrap it up. I'm done. I'm not gonna have any more light here in a moment, but understand what a gift it is to him, to God, when you let him love you and you receive his love and you don't reject it and push it away and say, no, Lord, you can't love me. I'm this, I'm that, whatever. He already knows all the things. That's why he went to the cross. Will you let him? Let him. You will be giving him such a gift. So be loved, beloved. Allow yourself to be loved. Okay. All right. I promised I would wrap it up. So share with me what you might have received here, and I would appreciate that. Thank you for being here with me today, and for liking and subscribing and sharing this video. I bless you now in the name of Jesus. And to end the way I began, let's send perfectionism to hell where it belongs. All right. I bless you in the name of Jesus. Bye for now.